Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how I make collard greens. This is going to be my first time making it, so hopefully they come out good. What you'll need is a bunch of collard greens, red bell pepper, bacon, onion. I'm going to use ham shanks. You can use ham hocks, whatever you prefer. Chicken broth, apple cider vinegar, and some water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the stem out of all of these collard greens and then cut them into pieces, and then I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, I cut the stems out of all of these. So I'm just gonna place some here on the cutting board and roll them all together and then just cut them into pieces. All right, so here you can see I have chopped up my collard greens. I'm gonna go ahead and dump some salt into a bowl and some apple cider vinegar. We're just going to clean the collard greens with this. So we'll just mix that around. Okay, and then I went ahead and added the collard greens to the mixture that I made. We're just gonna go ahead and add some water. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let this soak for about an hour just so it's nice and clean and gets all the dirt and any bugs or anything that might be on there out. And then we'll be back. Oh, just kidding. While this is sitting, we are gonna go ahead and boil these ham shanks as well. Okay, so my collard greens have been sitting for an hour with the salt and vinegar water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of scrub them together. You can see how the water's dirty. Scrub down. And then I'm gonna go ahead and strain this. And then I'm gonna rinse them again. Probably just rinse them a couple of times so there's no dirt left behind. I'm going to strain again and rinse one more time, and then I'll be back. All right, to my pan, I have added a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to add my red peppers that I chopped up, my onion, and my bacon, and let this fry. And then I'm also going to add about this much minced garlic. Give this a nice stir. And then I'm also going to add my ham shank that I have cut up, and then I'll leave this out, but I'm gonna add this bone because it gives it some more flavor. So we'll just go ahead and let all of this come together and cook, and then we'll be back. All right, so you can see that my bacon, ham, onions, and peppers have cooked down. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to add my collard greens. We'll just add these in bunches. Get this first bunch to wilt, shrink down a little bit. And then once these have shrunk down, we'll go ahead and add the second batch. Go ahead and add some more. And then we'll just go ahead and add the rest of the collard greens. And let all of this shrink together. Alright, so once the collard greens have shrunk down, we are going to go ahead and add chicken broth. About 5 or 6 cups, probably the whole thing, to be honest. This gives it a lot of flavor. And then to this, I'm just going to eyeball. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of seasoned salt. This is your preference. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. And then I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not too much because don't want it to be too spicy. But we're going to go ahead and mix this together. I also forgot I need to add a little bit of chicken broth, or you can add some bouillon cubes. I'm probably just going to do about 1 tablespoon. A tad bit more. Mix all this together, and then we are going to let this simmer for about 45 minutes. And by that time, the collard greens should be nice and tender. All right, guys, the collard greens are done. Smells delicious. I'll let you know how they taste. All right, guys, I'm also going to show you how to make some smothered pork chops. Here I have mixed together some of my choice of seasonings. I did some chicken bouillon, some ground cumin, pepper, onion salt, garlic powder. I'm just going to go ahead and season my meat on both sides. Whatever seasoning you have left, you're going to want to mix into the flour so it has some nice flavor. All right, so as you can see, I have seasoned my pork chops. I'm gonna go ahead and add this seasoning to the flour. All right, so now that we have our chops all nice and seasoned, I seasoned my flour. We're gonna go ahead and dip the chops in here. Get it nice and coated. And then set it off to the side. And just keep doing that until all of your chops are coated in flour. All right, my chops are nice and floured and stuff, so I have heated up some oil in a pan just on medium heat, and I am going to go ahead and cook these pork chops for about 5 minutes on each side. We're not trying to fully cook them because we're doing smothered chops. I'm just going to give them a nice browning. All right, to a hot pan we are going to add some bacon, and we're only doing this to get the bacon grease for our smothered pork chops. You want as much grease as you can get. So I'm going to add quite a few pieces of this hot bacon. We're going to cook these until they're crisp. That way we can get a lot of the bacon grease. As you can see, the bacon didn't leave behind a ton of grease, so I'm going to go ahead and add just about a tablespoon of butter and get this melted down. All right, and once that's melted down, I'm going to go ahead and add some of an onion that I chopped up and just get these cooked in with it. I'm also going to add some mushrooms. And then just let these cook down. So I removed the mushrooms and onions. There's not a ton of juice left, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more butter and melt this down. Okay, so with that flour that we had earlier that we seasoned, I'm going to go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons to this butter. And mix that around well. Just make a roux. Okay, and then once this is mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of chicken broth at a time. And mix that well until there are no clumps. All right, the gravy is done whisking together. So I'm going to go ahead and add my mushrooms and onions. Give that a good mix. It smells delicious. Now I'm going to add my pork chops. I'm just going to go ahead and stick these in here. And I'm going to put a lid over this and let it cook together until the pork chops are fully cooked. Let's go ahead and add some sauce over these. And then we'll be back when these are fully cooked.